What's up, everybody? Just decided to do a quick post-birthday live, impromptu kind of thing. I've been tossing it around for a little bit and was just sitting here feeling grateful for all the love that I got, from my YouTube friends and family, from my friends and family. And I was like, you know what? Let me hop on and chop it up with anybody who is like me and might be a night owl. So if you catch this, great. If you're able to join, great. I might have a guest or two that I'll bring up here with me to chop it up with. And, but I just wanted to kind of talk. Just started my channel a couple of weeks ago. And I figured, you know what better time than this to catch up with all the unfiltered night owls like myself and get a chance to connect and hear a little bit more about who I am for those that don't know me, really what I'm about, the things that I enjoy doing, getting to know you, connecting with some of you. So feel free, if you're joining the live stream, to drop some comments in there. And even if you're unable to join and you're watching this later, leave me a comment, please. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My channel is a wide array of things, but mostly where I give my unfiltered opinion on topics ranging from pop culture, social commentary, TV, all things TV. I love reality shows and television, so you'll hear bits and pieces of that. I just recently started doing some interviews, so there's a couple of interviews on my page already. So that's what you'll see from me. And as the channel evolves, I'll continue to dive into all areas that you want me to delve into. I love a good debate. I love to chop it up with folks, all different types of people. I love to laugh. And that's a little bit about me. So I already see some folks joining. So thank you. I see Jay. She was one of the first ones in. That's my day one right there. So Jay, I appreciate you. You are number one supporter of mine, and I am of yours. Jay and I also have a channel together, Another Round, where we've got some dope content. So we will definitely drop that in the description box later on too, where you can also see us and see Jay. Some great things going on there. I don't know if our godfather across the pond, Little Black Book, is up, but he's the hardest working man in YouTube. He might join us too. I see David out of Koya, my good brother that has been a panelist on many of shows across this YouTube platform. So, brother, thank you for joining all the way across the nation, rather, from Australia. I see Kia Simone in there, my newfound YouTube friend from Detroit, Michigan. So appreciate you, Kia, for joining late night. Kia Simone also has her own channel. Check her out, Kia Simone. We'll drop that link in there too. She's a spicy sister, has a lot going on, has some great opinions. So, maybe we'll bring Kia and David and Jay all up and we'll talk and we'll share some stories about our YouTube journey and how we got here. But just mostly, and you'll hear me saying this, throughout this live, is the main thing for me that I kind of just was like itching to do this was I was feeling some type of way this particular birthday, right? So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think a part of this YouTube journey for me is an element of healing, right? So 2021, man, was a hell of a year for me. It was definitely a tough year for me. And when I arrived at Little Black Book, it was just kind of like on a happenstance. And, I arrived to his channel, started watching his content, and just decided to, he was doing an open round interview for panelists. And I said, you know what, let me throw my hat in the ring. I do a lot of talking. I can definitely chat it up with the best of them. I like to analyze situations. So I said, you know what can I lose? So I threw my hat in the ring. I had a chance to meet him. and a couple of different panelists. Shout out to the OG super panelists that really have been with Kojo from late 2020 into the early part of this year. So I joined the journey around, I think I would say June of this year. I just participated first as a guest, just as Kojo invites different people from his channel to come in and just share their opinions. So I joined, and we were talking about, I believe the show was, the last season of Ready to Love. So I joined, shared my insights, chopped it up with, all the people on the panel. It got a little spicy. We had some good conversations, and we were able to really suss some things out. So it was great. And then from there, Kojo and I had a chance to chat backstage, and, I talked to him about my interest in joining his channel, and he was like, bro, we need more brothers on here. So, and so my journey began on Little Black Book's panel, talking about a wide variety of topics and shows. And here I am 4 months later, and I have my own channel. So I'm excited about that. And so many things and friendships and connections were birthed from that place. But as I was talking about earlier, what made it hard for me was, for those, again, that don't know, I was going through a divorce in the beginning of really 2020. It started, the separation and everything started towards the latter part of 2020. But the reality really hit me the beginning of the year. So it was an interesting time for me, from being married for 5 years, really not being single for almost 10 years in total between that relationship and others. So now I was embarking on being single. So what that looked like, what that felt like, I'm just going to breathe through this. It was not easy. Transitioning back to being a single person, right? I knew it was for the betterment of my journey, but I'll say that the work through that is not easy. And anybody that's been divorced, I know I don't have to tell you what that looks like. But for those of you that are looking to get married, those of you that are married, if you can hold on to your relationships, please do. But sometimes a divorce is necessary. I get that. But I will say it is by far the toughest thing that I've ever had to do, right? Because it was love. It is still love. But sometimes that love needs to take on a different form. So I say all that to say that I met some great people through Little Black Book. And those people, too, were now joined into part of my extended family. And this birthday was a hard birthday, because this was really the first birthday that I was single. So I want to pace myself, because it was not easy to enter into another year being single, right? And not with and how you have spent it for so many years. So we talk, and it's so funny, I'm getting choked up, right? And sometimes we laugh, and we'll see people on reality TV shows and other shows, and we see them get choked up or they cry, and sometimes it's like we have a tough approach. But I totally understand bearing your soul and talking about this, although it's cathartic, it is still challenging, right? So the love that I got this birthday from all of my extended friends and family, I definitely got love from my close friends and family, 100%. And I appreciated that. However, I gotta say, for people that have been in my life for a short period of time, the love that I received from everybody, man, it just makes you feel, loved and supported, and helps this transitionary time to be so much easier. And Jay, absolutely, you said it, right? You said it, and I'm gonna post your comment. right? So you said, yeah, I'm single, but I'm not alone. And that's 100%. And that's how I felt. And I think that comment captures everything that I was feeling and why I wanted to come aboard and just do this live with all of you. It's because I felt alone in some aspects, but not, because the love that I felt, the support that I felt, just made those feelings not as difficult to navigate. And then I felt like I wasn't navigating it by myself. And then as I kind of chopped it up with some other of the panelists backstage, I found that there's other people that are divorced. I found that there's other people that are going through journeys. Some of us going through different aspects of it, some more challenging, but we connect and we bond. And as we share those stories, there's healing in that. And at the end of the day, in anything that I do, and any topic that I talk about, whether it's raw, whether it's tough, whether it's a not easy topic, or whether it's I approach it with a critical eye, it's not about the judgment, but more so about what's the healing that we can get from it. So that's what I love to do, because at the end of the day, yeah, can we judge somebody and see their wrongs? But what's the next step, right? We can't just sit there, because we all have made mistakes. None of us are perfect, right? So what are we looking to do? How are we self-assessing? What are the mistakes that we can learn from? How can we help somebody else? I think that's the real dope part of it, is really learning for ourselves and then sharing our stories and our journeys for someone else. So I made it through without breaking down. So I appreciate you guys. I too cry. I do. I have working tear ducts. They are active at times. So, and for those of you who don't know, the little joke that's implied there is, Little Black Book and I, we catch a lot of smoke and heat for some of the various characters that showed up on different shows that we reviewed. And we talked about the tears, right? We talked about the excessive crying and what that means. But I think this moment is a great genesis of what our heart was really meaning in that. And that was time and place, right? What I'm talking about is stuff that is to the core of me, right? Stuff that is impactful, right? We're in a relationship, we're having a difference of opinion. I'm just not going to start crying. No, that's just not going to happen. I'm not going to use my tears to manipulate, or I'm not going to just be crying for crying's sake. But there's a time and place is what I'm trying to say. But that's not about policing people's tears, just my little thoughts. But I see more and more people joining. I see Candace all the way from Chicago. So I appreciate you for joining. Thank you for popping in here and dropping comments. I see, a bunch of hearts in there. So I really, really appreciate you. Yeah, Candace, real men can cry. We definitely can. So, I totally appreciate all my folks, and I love the blue hearts. I don't know whose idea that was. If Jay, you're behind this, listen, don't make me cry again, because my favorite color is blue, hence the blue hoodie today. My hands down, my favorite color is blue. Any version, any form of blue, I probably have it in my closet, have it somewhere in my house. I love blue. So the blue hearts are perfect, a perfect example of everything that is Shawn and everything that is Shawn Unfiltered. So anybody have any questions, anything that they would like to know, whether about me, the channel, my journey, I'm up for it. I'm open to it. Feel free to drop any questions that you may have out there. But in the interim, I'm just glad to be here and celebrating with you all. I'm going to, and again, I'm new to this YouTube world, so I'm trying to navigate all the different components of everything. So I'm going to drop a link for anyone that, does want to join in, wants to pop up here and say hello. You can be on camera, off camera. Yeah. So Candace, you were saying you guessed too, right? Okay. So you peeped it. You knew my favorite color was blue, right? David, my other October Scorpio brother. Yes. happy birthday to you too. And that is definitely the color of the month, right? I see my homegirl, the salsa, all the way from Switzerland, joining in. I appreciate you. Oh man, you guys, I just did this on the fly. So to have, more than 10 or 15 people in here in the chat is that again is another reason why I did this. Because of the love that I have felt, because of the support that I have felt, for having a channel for the short period of time that I've had it, and the growth that we're starting to already see. Shout out to, we're just about, I believe, at the 250 subscriber mark. So for all 250 of you, I appreciate you. And I thank you for taking the time to come on over to my little old channel and see what I have to say. I really, really, really appreciate you all. I'm excited about this journey. I really, really am. Another thing is I do have a 9 to 5, so which is why I don't put out as much content as I can, because I've got a 9 to 5, guys. And if anybody saw my intro video, I did describe and kind of get into what I do in there a little bit. So that is why you don't see as frequent content. I try as much to be consistent, which is why it took me a while to get started in this YouTube journey, because I wanted to make sure I was set up at a pace to be able to do that. But this is an exciting space that I really never thought that I would be in, but here I am and I'm loving it. Oh, I see my homegirl Seaway. Shout out to Seaway from Chicago. Oh man, I don't know if Mark's on with you, Seaway, but you two are my favorite newlyweds. They just got married recently. Appreciate you both. You two have been supporters. We've had great conversations, and it's just been a connection there. I see my homeboy. Oh man, one of my dearest friends, Arne Lomax, my good brother, all the way from Texas. Man, oh man, so nice to see you, brother. Hope the family, the wife and kids are doing great. So glad you decided to join in and comment. I totally appreciate you. You are one of the most important people to me. Absolutely. So, brother, I thank you for stopping in. Man, if anybody knows Arne, this brother is funny. He's witty. He's sharp. His tongue is like a samurai sword. So, if some folks have got their feelings hurt by me, please, they ain't seen nothing yet. Run in on Arne. You dealing with a wordsmith right there. So I appreciate you, brother. I definitely do. He cut me a couple times. I remember some of our first interactions. And I believe my brother Rich, he hasn't decided to comment, but he texted me that he's out there. So that is my brother from another mother. Rich and Arne are longtime friends. They've been friends since days of Underoos. So that is how I met Arne and my good brother. Those people, that's like when your friends become family. You know what I mean? And there's nothing like that. So for those of you that might not have the family setup that you want, and I'm blessed because I've got great family too. But for those of you, you might not have the family dynamic either, just because of the way things work out, or, some of your close family members have passed away. But you can get family that you choose, and those are friends, right? And when you have friends that ride for you, hold you accountable, support you, there's nothing in the world like that. So, for anybody that, feels like, they look around and they see other people with family structures and it saddens them, you know what I mean? Don't get sad, because you can get family that you choose. And sometimes that's the best family, because you got to pick them. The family you're born into, you don't get to choose them. You roll in, and how they are is how they are. And if they evolve, great. Some may not. But the family that you choose are family members that really, are there for you. And the family that I chose has been there for me in this very difficult time. So I appreciate you. And listen, it's I don't want to be all sad and downtrodden, because it's not about that. Listen, I'm in a good place overall. I really, really am. But as humans, we got to embrace. Sometimes you get sad. Sometimes things out there, you're disappointed. Things didn't work out the way you thought they would. So you got to sit in that a little bit, and but just get out of it. And these folks help me to do that. So before I ramble on any further, I do want to drop the I'm going to drop the link in there. And give me a second. Let's see. So I dropped the link in for anybody that wants to join, chop it up with us in this post-birthday celebration. Please, please, please feel free to come on up. And again, while we're waiting for anybody that might be coming, please like, share, subscribe to Shawn Unfiltered. I got my IG at the bottom at Shawn Davis 120. I love to engage with folks, so please, if you're not already a follower of mine, please follow me on Instagram as well. And definitely like, share, and subscribe to my channel so we can continue to get more content out there, continue to interview, which is something new for me. It's a new space for me that I've been in that I'm actually enjoying. So I see my day one, my YouTube day one right here. So we're gonna bring her up to the stage. Jay,
I had to come in like somebody's auntie for you. I have to throw a blue scarf on.
You put a blue scarf on for me?
On crib. No.
Listen, you out there in LA, I ain't messing with it. I don't want nobody coming for me. I don't want that smoke.
I got family on both sides. That'd be good.
Okay, so you got the protection that you need. What's up, Jay?
What up, love? I'm trying to figure out where the echo feedback. I don't know if it's me. It might be. Oh, so much love to you. You know what I'm saying? It has been a wild week, a wild weekend, but it's all for you. You got me out here fresh face and all, like,
It is. And look at the hair. I'm loving it, Jay. I'm loving the curls. Oh man, that's dope. And like I said, everybody, Jay is we have a channel together, Another Round. Man, Jay, we gotta do are we shooting tomorrow, Jay?
Yeah, man, we gotta shoot tomorrow. Okay. We have no choice, man, because we have deprived the people a little too long.
Yes.
Like I said, it's been a rough week.
Okay. Yeah, I know you've been going through a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
How's everything?
Everything is gonna be everything. Like I say, I'm gonna just stay positive about everything, and it's gonna work out the way it work out. That's just how life is gonna go right now. That's it. This smile is determined to be here, period.
That's it.
While we here, libations, cheers to you.
Oh no, I gotta get my French brandy. Man, Jay. Guys, for those of you that don't know, when we shoot YouTube videos and streams, we usually have afterlives after that, right? So those afterlives, man, if we stop shooting at like say 11 or 12 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. Eastern time. Last night, what time were we on to? Or this morning, what time were we on to?
First of all, I went to bed and woke up.
And we were still on, right?
I woke up at like, what did I wake up about? 3, 4 in the morning my time, so that's like 7 o'clock, y'all,
right?
Or whatever. Y'all was still lit. I was like, what? What? Okay,
like what is going on in the world, right?
I'm hopping back on. What's up? What did
I fell asleep at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I don't know what y'all did after that, but I couldn't take it anymore.
We took our cues from you. It was like, oh, that's that right there. It's our cue. Okay. Called your name a couple of times and you didn't answer. We was like, okay, time to check out.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I was like, Abby, is that you?
Oh man, where's that little tyrant? She's probably like, this guy is on YouTube again. I see another person joining the comments. I see Shanae, our other homegirl from California. All right, Shanae, I appreciate you. That's
Renee's out
another,
here?
huh? She's in the comments. Yeah. So
I didn't know
Rich.
she was out here though.
Yeah, she's in Cali.
Oh wow. Hey Nene. I
Yep,
didn't
there
know you
she
was out this
goes.
way.
Yeah, that's for that's a good Christian sister right there. She has a podcast, the Rogers. I don't want to mess it up. The Rogers Show. Shanae, drop the name in the chat. I haven't even had a drink and I'm off. So just drop the name. I think it's the Rich and Rogers. I think it's called the Rich and Rogers podcast. And I think they just dropped their second episode. I think that's their second one that just dropped. But dope system, man. That's the one thing, Jay. It's like this YouTube world. We have met so many people, dope people of color. Nothing wrong with anybody that's not of color. We love everybody. However, I've met so many dope brothers and sisters across the country, across the world. You know what I mean?
Educated too. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys got brains. Oh, they do exist. No.
Yes, we
No.
do. We are out here, Jay. We are out here with you, and
numbers, baby.
yeah, I love it. Oh, I see Kia Simone. We're gonna bring her up now. This is a lady that knows how to get a party started. So I'm a little scared. She might just shake the table, but Kia, welcome. Come on up, Kia.
So no, I'm not shaking any tables tonight. I just want to tell you happy birthday. It's well deserved. I just had to. I'm on my way to bed because I do have a 9 to 5 also. But I was just like, if anybody watches this later, it's y'all just don't understand. Like I was over here about to like tear up. Like I see, Shanae in the comments, David. Like this is literally a family. We've just like all just like linked up. Like even with Shawn, he didn't even, we never worked together on Little Black Book. However, we start following each other on IG, and then like I said, we just would joke around. That's why he said I'm spicy. Uh, but it's just like they're just so welcoming. And Lil Black Book, he probably just didn't even know how big his ministry was, that it just brought all of us together where we're genuinely a family. So if someone's watching this later, just know that, you might not have the family again, like Shawn said, that you want or you think that you deserve, but just look at God. Like we've all I think Little Black Book walked us through a lot of trauma. Like a lot of us were going through things during the pandemic. But Shawn, you are an awesome guy. I love your energy. I love how, you just welcome me in because again, you guys took over the next season. And we just all kind of like still bonded with each other, even though we might not never been on a live together. So shout out to Brother Shawn.
Appreciate you, Kia. Appreciate you. And sometimes it's those fast friends that you get. Those are like the best connections, because you just click on so many different cylinders. And it's like, at the end of the day, we got things in common and then we have different perspectives and we could just go back and forth. I love it. I love it. And I think that was a blessing, one of the blessings of the pandemic, because it really brought people together on this YouTube platform. Obviously, YouTube has been here, but I think you saw so many more creators come through YouTube. And yes, no table shaking tonight. No, it was all love. But listen, if the spirit leads you to shake a table, Kia, you shake that good table. You hear what I'm saying? You shake it. So I see my brother, Rich. I see you. All right, I see your comment. There you go. Where are you at? I just saw it. Yeah, this guy right here. So for some of you, especially from the current panel that Kojo has, that I filmed from Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, this is my good brother. His family is like an extension of my family. It is a blessing. And this dude has been a brother to me for 20 plus years. Don't try to do the math on my birthday. If you don't know, you don't know. But, I'm recreating the numbers around here. But Rich, I appreciate you, bro. I love you, bro. Your support is unmatched. So I appreciate you, and yeah, you're in good company with Arne. So you two are well known to each other. So there's family in the chat and abroad. So appreciate that. Up, I see Seaway. I see my homegirl Seaway from Chi-Town. So we're gonna add her in to the panel. Seaway, thank you for joining us.
Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, Seaway?
Hold
What's
on,
not on
going
don't making
on?
avatars on us like that. Hold up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get the avatar. I'm not looking cute like y'all two. So
Aw.
I'm avataring it.
That's all right. We'll take it,
Keep going in the
newlywed.
wind.
But shout out for the birthday celebration. Look, keep it going. I'm sorry I turned up on your birthday.
You
More
know
than you,
what?
probably.
See, wait. Let's tell a little version of that story. Okay, let's tell a little version of the story. Just enough so they can get to know the flavor of Seaway, right? So,
I
me.
think you're gonna have to tell it because I don't remember.
Oh no. Oh, what was the libation of choice that night, Seaway, that has you not even remembering what happened?
What happened to her?
Oh no, she said we lost her. She shook the table and left the room. The story is to be continued when Seaway comes back. But in the meantime, we got another guest. My brother from down under is joining us, David Adekoya, all the way from Australia. So, David, I'm going to welcome you in.
Thanks, brother.
What's up, David?
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, my dude.
It's so great to celebrate you on this wonderful day. I know it was yesterday or so, but happy birthday. And you just been a wonderful, wonderful brother. Always love your content. Always love your contribution every time, bringing it real. And always giving a very different perspective. I really appreciate what you do, and just want to continue to wish you many, many, many more wonderful, wonderful things to celebrate as you go forward.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you, man. What time is it in Australia right now?
It is 3:12 p.m.
Okay, so it's 3:00 Monday afternoon.
Monday afternoon.
Are you at work again, David?
Yes, I am at work.
David, oh my brother, we love this good brother. David is an engineer, right,
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, that's right.
And David gets on these streams, and he will be streaming from during business hours. And we are like, David, when I'm you, I want to be like you when I grow up. But David takes the time to chop it up with us. We so appreciate you, and appreciate you for coming in and sharing some birthday love. Now, when was your birthday again?
30th of October, bro.
Wait a minute. Why just forgive it's my mind, not my heart. So we are birthday twins. That's right, David. My apologies, brother. So this is a birthday celebration for you too, man.
Hey, I'll take it. Anything sounds good.
Absolutely. So David is another guest panelist. He pops in from time to time on a couple of different platforms, from Little Black Book to Maria S. And, we have got to know each other over the last few months around that. So cool.
Yeah.
I see Seaway is back on the platform. So
I'm back. Sorry, guys.
No worries. So we were just getting into your story. So what was the libation of choice, Seaway, that night that has you not remembering?
It was tequila. Don't recommend.
What brand?
Casamigos.
Casamigos. And that's the good stuff. So how many shots were had? Like what? Come on, tell me about this, because you were turned up once by the time you got to our Zoom.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was out with my old coworkers from my old job, and they get lit. They're my favorite people. They were even the last ones at my wedding. Like they're those type of people. The ones when everybody went home, they still drinking with you. Like they're those people. And of course, because not all of them are people of color, so you know what type of party it was. they had a lot of like beer, but no chasers. No chasers. So I bring the tequila, and I'm thinking I'm finna sit on the table, sharing is caring. But you know, they all drinking their beer, whatever that I don't drink. And of course, I'm like, "Where's the chasers?" They're like, "Sis, we ain't got no chasers. Like, grab one of these like seltzer type things and call it a day." So I was chasing my tequila with seltzer, whatever it was, beer, whatever. And I looked up, and yeah, I was Liddy Boots on Friday.
Well, it was a good time. You were in the, believe it or not, it took a little struggle to get her to link to join the Zoom that we were on. Her husband, Mark, oh man, that's a solid dude right there, because he was graceful with her, because it must have took, I'm sure he was the one that put the link through. But they are a lovely couple, newlyweds, attorneys. Look, both husband and wife attorneys, so Black excellence at its best.
Oh, you're too sweet.
Yeah, no, this is all facts, no lies told. This is who you are, man. So you have been a blessing to me, a friend to me. So I appreciate you, and by extension, Mark has also become a friend to me. So I definitely appreciate you. I see some other new names in the chat. I see Dominique Von Lou. Appreciate you. For joining. She's another one that has followed us over from Little Black Book. Oh, we got another one of our Little Black Book panelists, Malicia, in the comments. Appreciate you, Malicia. We chopped it up with you too last night. This morning, technically, all the way from Taiwan. So we got sisters and brothers in Taiwan. We are international. So Malicia also has a YouTube page called The Ranting Shop, where she gives it to you straight, no chaser. Our St. Lucian sister. So appreciate you. Grace Mercy Saved. Appreciate you. We touch base with each other, from Maria S. to Little Black Book, all over the place. So appreciate you, Grace Mercy Save. Sweet Entry, see you all the time up and through the chats. Appreciate you. Wait a second. Wait. I gotta put this person. This is somebody that I just met, kind of informally / formally. Now, last time I checked, Lauren, you had your own thing going on your channel. This is our good sister, Lauren Melissa. Now, Lauren, thank you for the happy belated birthday. Sis, I've been trying to book an interview with you. You know, we committed. Can that be my birthday present, Lauren? Come on. I want to chop it up with you. But for anybody, Lauren has a great channel, a platform, Lauren Melissa on YouTube. Great sister. She just relocated from Detroit to California, I believe LA. But Lauren, appreciate you for taking the time to come over and wish me some birthday love. Really, really appreciate that. And y'all had a great live yesterday. I saw on my birthday, shoot your shot with Lauren and Lucky. So I couldn't join. I couldn't join to shoot my shot, Lauren. Unfortunately, I was too busy birthday celebrating. But we definitely got to chop it up to talk about all things Lauren Melissa. And get you and interview you to hear about you. So appreciate you for joining. So anything else anybody want to talk about? All right, I see you. All right, I got you. I'm not going to forget, Lauren.
Can we open the question lines?
Any questions? I don't see any questions out there.
Well, we could talk about how patient and understanding that Mark is during Seaway's times, because he knew everything she was saying. He understood everything she was saying. I was like, oh, okay, thank you, Mark translator.
Y'all gonna stop acting like he a saint. He had babysitting one day.
I'm not saying that he's a saint, but he understood everything that you were trying to say to say it to us. So I was like,
he was
okay.
translating. Really don't. I told y'all I don't remember.
He was translated perfectly. I was like, oh wow.
Well, that's great. No, that's how you know how special you guys are, because I was drunk as crap and I was on a mission to get that link to work. I was so frustrated. I was like, no, I'm gonna talk to them. He's probably like, go to sleep. I'm like, no, I am going to make this link work. When he really probably should have blocked y'all, so I didn't get on there and harass y'all.
But you know what? Although we're joking, that's a husband's grace, because He just knows how to work with you, and I'm sure you do with him. But in that moment, he showed grace and said, you know what, I'm just going to let you rock. I'm going to let you rock. You get on this good Zoom. I'm going to bed. You want to chop it up with these people to the wee hours, tipsy. You ain't going to remember tomorrow, but do you? And we need that sometimes, because I tell you, you certainly blessed us. You blessed us.
Definitely. You made the night even more better, because it was a rough start.
Well, I'm so mad. I can't remember. That's what's making me mad. So we got to redo it where I can stay up. Because I'd be falling asleep. So.
Too funny. All right. I see another newcomer. I see Lois View. Appreciate you for joining. I've definitely seen you in several comments. You recently subscribed to my channel too, so I appreciate you for being a newcomer to the Shawn Unfiltered family, and for taking this time to chop it up with us in this post birthday live. But I got to tell you, I think I told some of the panelists. So this is, and for anybody that knows, I'm a believer. I'm not perfect, so don't put me out there like, oh my God, if you see me doing something and moving left, don't be like, oh, I thought he said he was a Christian. No, I'm a human, but I am a believer in God. All right. So, but I just would say how God just over the last few days has set up this challenging birthday for me. And for those that might have joined a little bit later on, I just shared that this was a tough birthday for me because I'm recently divorced, and this is my first birthday being single Shawn, right? And being single Shawn probably for like the last 7 years. So I entered into it with a little bit of stress, a little bit of anxiety about what it all was going to look like for me. But I got so much love from everybody. It just made it a lot easier. So, but I was at a charity event for work, and we had a table. My job, I work for a bank, so my job had bought a table, and I was at the table with several people from the company, and we decided to, buy some raffle tickets just for the fun of it. And I'm like, what the hell? It's my birthday. Who knows what can happen? I never win anything. So I dropped a couple of tickets and, a couple of the different items. But when I do choose to drink, which is mostly social, but every now and then I happen to like whiskey, cognac, and brandy. So they had a basket full of all different types of spirits. I was like, you know what? Let me chuck it in there. Then they had, a couple of other things. I dropped it in there. Then they had a 50-inch TV. I was like, I don't really need a TV, but, Christmas is coming. Who knows? Chopped it in there, right? So I'm probably telling and giving away the story as I'm giving you the details. But ultimately what wound up happening when the raffles got called out, I won the basket of whiskey. So for me, from on, I was like, turn up. I could not wait. I was so excited. My boss was sitting to my left, and I was like, good thing I took a couple of days off, because I'm gonna get through some of these items in this basket, right? So she laughed, we chuckled, we moved on, right? So won that, was super excited, took some pictures. They had a little photo booth. Fast forward to the end of the raffle. Why did your boy win a 50-inch TV? I won a freaking 50-inch TV. Like 50-inch smart TV, and I don't know what to do with it, because technically I don't really need a TV anymore. So again, somebody out there, I don't know, you might have a nice Christmas gift coming your way. So listen, but that was super exciting. It was definitely a nice moment, and it just uplifted my spirits and set the chain of events of my birthday on. So
I think what should happen is it should go to the person like sometime in December, between now and December, between all of your videos, right? There's going to be clues dropped in there. And
okay.
Who's ever paying attention and get the most clues of whatever it is, I think that should be the winner of the 50-inch. I think that'd be a good way.
Listen, Jay, that sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna have to lean into you for those clues, because all that that little technical stuff, that's not my area of expertise. So let's chat about that offline, and we can figure out how to do that. But I like that plan. But wherever it goes, you're gonna have to pay the shipping, whoever it goes to, because we got people out here in Australia, Taiwan, I ain't paying
Hey,
the
look.
shipping of no 50-inch TV to Taiwan.
Hey, look. Yeah, on that part right there.
That's a head scratcher, right?
I need some cash apps or.
If you're in the tri-state area, I got you. If you're in the tri-state, you know, I live in New York City, in Queens. So if you're in the tri-state area, I got you. I got you on that. But if you're outside of the tri-state area, I can't help you with that. You know, we could do a lowest views. You are from Dubai. I'm definitely not playing the shipping and handling to ship anything to Dubai. So yeah, we would have to figure that one out. But Lois, if you're living in Dubai, I doubt you even need a 50-inch TV. Dubai is amazing and very wealthy, but you know, hey, listen, you might want it. So let's figure it out wherever it's going. But again, that was a great highlight to my birthday. So Jay, good ideas as always. My co-pilot. Anything else? Come on, guys. Don't leave me out here on a limb. I'll start rambling.
No, so okay. So what was your birthday dinner? You know,
so my birthday dinner, where you said, or what?
Where and what?
Okay, so where was it? I went to the Nautical Mile. Which is in Freeport. So for anybody from New York, for my New York family out there, it's in Long Island. And if you could tell by the name Nautical Mile, it is on the water. I love the water. And I love seafood. So it was a seafood restaurant. It's a section of Long Island that is on the water. I had a different plan. Initially, I was supposed to be going to this soul food restaurant called Delta's in New Jersey. But wound up changing the plans. So yeah, and what did I have? I had surf and turf. So I had filet mignon and a lobster tail with asparagus and mashed potatoes.
That is literally my dream meal. That is all I eat.
I actually had a surf and turf on my birthday as well.
What? See, that's why we birthday twins, Dave.
I'm telling you.
Oh, it's funny.
And it wasn't a surf and turf. Anybody that watches Married at First Sight, it wasn't a Jose surf and turf. You know what I mean? So.
No.
All right, David, you want to ask your question? Or you want me to ask it for you?
You can just ask it. It's fine.
Okay,
Thanks.
so David says, what are your plans for the channel and how do you intend to set it apart from other channels on YouTube?
Sure. So, well, the main thing is, I know I mentioned in the beginning that I'll do television reviews, but if you see from like the first video that I posted recently that I talked about gaslighting, I took a topic from Married at First Sight and I just focused in on that because it's something that interests me, right? So that's what I think about what differentiates me. You have other reviewers that do straight reviews of television shows, which is great. And there's a lot of great people to do that. Obviously, Little Black Book does it. I don't want to say second, I'm sorry, Misha. My other favorite commentator on television reviews is Misha. Miss Misha, check her out. Miss Misha IMO. She has a great channel. Her and I have chopped it up a little bit. And she does a play-by-play of the episode. So if you didn't see the episodes, you'll feel like you were there. Kojo does deep dive analysis, which there's elements of that. And that's why I really connected with Kojo. There's definitely elements of that there. And then he does panel discussions on those various shows and topics. Me, I will hyper focus in on a particular section from a show. And I will talk about that. Jay and I, we have another round, JS, and we do an element of both where we'll talk about topics, we'll deep dive, we'll leverage the knowledge that we might have on different subject matters and bring a different view, right? And then it's two of us reviewing it, so you're getting both of our opinions. So that's what I think kind of differentiates me and my channel. The other part that I've started to dive into is interviews. And I'm finding a level of enjoyment from that. So that was something I never expected. So when I interview, though, there's all different types of interview styles as well. I like to have conversations. I consider myself to be a conversationalist. So I like to talk. So I want it to be like we're just sitting down in front of each other and we're just chopping it up. And then I'll ask you questions. It could be around if there are people that are, well known from being on a public platform. I might ask them things that people might want to know, but mainly it's a conversation. So good question, Dave. Thank you. And that's kind of my journey. Now I might evolve.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think.
Dave.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to say your interviews have been really good so far. I've seen a few of them. The one with the couple from Family of Fiancé was good, and then the one with I think you did one with Liver as well, and that was good as well. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, I just asked a question because I think it's something that's very common in YouTube now. You've got a lot of YouTube channels and things like that, and good for you that you have a regular job and stuff, and you're in the banking sector, so you don't have to chase the algorithm and things like that. But I think in everything that you want to do, just based on how I perceive you to be on YouTube, I think you want to be do something with purpose and do it differently. So I think that's something what always keeping in mind, how to bring out fresh content that makes you different and unique from all the other people on YouTube, just so that we get different kind of. It's like eating a seafood platter, and you're just eating from different channels and receiving different stuff. So that's just pretty great.
Thanks, Dave. Absolutely. So, that's what my goal is. And I'm open for suggestions. So any suggestions of different things you want me to explore? Some folks have given me suggestions already. So I've got some other things in the works. But please do feel free to share. I think that's the beauty of this YouTube space, is that we as audience members and subscribers can play a role in the content that is created and weigh in on that. So appreciate that. I think Kia had a question too.
So I said I wasn't gonna shake the table, but I'm gonna shake the table and I'm gonna go to bed. So, in these YouTube streets, it used to be so funny because whenever a male would come on the panel, the women would go
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Okay. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was laughing last night when they was like, Shine is so cute. I don't know if you read the comments last night, but I was like, okay,
No.
maybe. Yeah. So I'm sure like a lot of the women, eventually when you have the one-on-ones, if they knew you were on tonight, they will probably be in the chat asking, well, Sean, are you single? Do you plan on dating? So how do you deal with those type for the ladies that are watching? Because I know Didi, I don't know if you remember Didi, but he had to be clear, like, no, I don't want none of y'all. I'm just trying to work. I just want to do this. So how do you approach those situations when the women just come at you like kind of aggressive, and do they be like jumping in your DMs? Because I know we used to laugh at Kojo, like they just would just be different type of women.
Actually, Grace Mercy Save just asked if you've started dating again. So
I was trying to avoid that question, David. So I saw that.
But the women want to know, and even if you tell them that you're with someone, they still want to know. And I think it's
Mhm.
different for you guys. The men,
Yeah.
I don't think they, do the women like that on the
Mhm.
panels. But I know, like the men that were on the panel, it would just be so funny. Like the chats will be blowing up. Like, oh my gosh! Like who was on there the other day with the deep voice? The women were going crazy.
Corey
Yeah,
Black. Yeah, Corey Black. He's the Barry White of the panel.
yes, and I was like, focus, lady, focus. Well, how do you feel
No,
about that type of behavior or that attention that you're getting from these YouTube streets?
yeah, the men get the love. I want to know.
No, wait. Before you answer though, Shad, I'm gonna say this. I was gonna ask this question, Kia, but after the after live with Seaway, don't remember. I was like, let me not.
Oh, you got in trouble? See, I must have logged out.
No, he didn't get in trouble, but he kind of explained his stance on things right now. So I was like, I don't want to open these doors or
Sorry,
whatever.
I always make the tables because I was looking at the chat and like now we fam. So I'm looking at like who over there talking about Shine? Like wait, like who are you? And I'm like, lady.
Wait, let's discuss the fact that they got mad when he was gone and took it out on us. I was like, Shine.
I'm like the men get the love, we get the mean tweets. I'm trying to figure it out.
Y'all are funny, and I'm humbled. I would say that I'll answer your question, but a lot of what, even when women are flirting a little bit in the comments, it is just conjecture. It's just talking. And I don't know if Lauren is still on, but Lauren, how I got to be familiar with her was she used to join. She used to be on a panel regularly on the Lapeef Network, which is based out of Chicago. Check them out. Great channel. They do panel discussions on pop culture topics and different things like that. But Lauren was a guest and joined the panel there several times. And so I just got familiar with her. And, Lauren's an attractive woman. And the fellas, because that channel has a large male population. Oh, you're still here. What's the face? Is that a smiley face? Okay. So Lauren would get a lot of the dudes shooting their shot to her, right? So, but if I had to guess, a lot of it is just commentary, right? A lot of it is just commentary, and that's what most of it is, right? So, that's what most of it is. There's not a whole lot of women jumping in my DMs, sliding in my DMs. Have there been a few ladies that have reached out? Yes. But I would say that the one thing that about me is I'm just not going to entertain everybody. I'm not, I'm not an F boy out here trying to just slay everything. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. So I want to know who you are. I want to know what's about you, what you're about. Like, and, the few that have been aggressive enough to jump in, it's just like, hey, you're handsome. And I mean, it's a great compliment, but who are you? Where are you from? What is the context of this message? Or you just wanted to leave me a compliment? So I usually will respond with a like or a thank you, and that's going to be all you're going to get out of me. Now, if you ask me a question, or if you say, hey, listen, I saw you here, blah, 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 then we can have dialogue. I'll have dialogue. And that's the same respect that I give any woman that I might be interested in, is I will start with some context to the message, right? So that's what I would say, that, if there's anybody out there that's interested, I am actively open to dating. I'm not dating anybody serious at the moment. Would I like to be married again? I want to get ahead of that question. Yes, in the future. But right now I am, just enjoying this singledom and working through all that is being Shawn and single. But I love the company of a good, smart, attractive woman, 100%. So if you're out there, I'm not opposed to it, but it's got to be respect on both sides.
Ladies, you gotta put in the work, okay? Shawn is not settling for. He's not settling for no. Come on, you gotta bring it strong if you really want it. You gotta show him that you want it, and he's already giving you the criteria. Intelligent, all that good stuff. Just rewind it and write it down. Get a note somewhere, and follow up. Present your proposal very well. You just might be the lucky one.
Jay, why are you starting trouble? She said, I have two. I think this is in the private chat. She said, I have 252 subscribers and 3 of them are men. And they're probably my friends and one cousin.
It's me and 2 of his cousins.
It's you and 2 of his cousins, huh, David?
I tell you.
Oh, too funny. Well, listen, I take it as a compliment. And, look, again, we're good here, and we can always chop it up. I'm never opposed to that. Seaway, I think you were about to say something before we went down this rabbit hole of all things Shawn dating.
Oh, I was just gonna keep it light. I was gonna say, because we talk about this all the time when we're on Kojo's channel. What is your favorite comment that you've got on the live chat, and what is your favorite mean tweet? I'm just gonna call it mean tweet or mean comment that you've received. I feel like I know this, but you go ahead.
I don't know if I have a favorite like nice one, but because I've received a lot of good feedback. Some of the feedback, that's kind of grouped in under this category is, I like your perspective. You know, you seem to be balanced and fair. I especially appreciate it when I will hear from a woman like, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it like that, but then I was able to hear what you said, and it makes sense because I think sometimes we struggle in between men and women in communicating and understanding each other. So when I see that women are hearing what I'm saying, meaning something's resonating, I'm like, okay, good, I'm on the right path. You know, I can continue down, you know, the way I communicate. So and continue to do that. And it gives me hope that we can get there and have better options and have better outcomes in relationships. So I love to hear that. So that's one of my favorite ones. One of my least favorite, but then if you know me, you know me, like I can laugh at myself. So it's kind of funny too, but it's a little annoying as well. So on my YouTube journey, in communication, and for a lot of times you're talking for extended periods of time, and you're trying to, in some instances, fill that space with gaps. So one of my gap words or filler words is you know. So I will use you know and So I'm kind of holding you guys accountable too, because anybody that knows me, you can lovingly tell me and lovingly help me through it. But I do that sometimes, and people have commented on it. There was one live panel that we did on Little Black Book's channel, and somebody created, and anybody that knows the YouTube world, you have live commentary that happens after a particular show streams. So the people that weren't in the chat can leave their own comments. So they had left comments after, and it was like, Shawn, you're cool, but you say you know way too many times. So I was like, okay, I can take that. Then people just started adding onto it, and another person was like, yeah, I lost count. And then another person was like, oh, I think he did it 30 times. And then they just kept going with it. Like it was like 7 or 8 comments deep. And the last person was like, oh, he's from New York and that's what they do over there. I'm like, they just created a whole narrative about me in a section of a YouTube world. But listen, the YouTube ain't for the weak. So I can take it, but that can be annoying sometimes when people nitpick you, because it's not easy to be up here. It really isn't. Especially if this isn't your full-time job, you're not committed to this, you're just doing something that's a passion. So it's not easy. So sometimes people can nitpick you. You know, the nitpicking me about my opinion or disagreeing with me, that doesn't bother me because it's my opinion and you have a right to disagree with it. So I don't really care about that. But it's when they start going personal and trying to nitpick things that I've said. So good question, Siwe.
Nah, well, you already know me and you be on our soapbox, and so at this point right now, y'all gonna take this ride downhill with me until I hit the finish line. Say,
oh, Freeway, man, I'm glad you asked me that question because now it triggered another thing. The worst comment is when they go in the live chats, and anytime I say something and I might hold a woman accountable or speak to what men want in relationships, I get oh, you just Kelsey Samuels, or you just Kevin Samuels, or you sound like Kevin Samuels. You know, in the beginning, they were nicer. They were like, oh, you sound like Kevin Samuels light. I'm like, okay, I guess I can kind of take that. But then it would just kind of go down that path. Also, on one of the lives, this was actually hilarious. We joke about this to today. Somebody disagreed with something that I was saying, and they were like, Shawn, you just need to focus on getting out your mama's basement.
I'm about to say, that's my favorite one. You missed that. Is my favorite one.
Now Seaway got a favor for you.
Because her and I laughed about that from the beginning. That's when we first met.
That's how we actually like bonded, I think, because we both got attacked on one of Kojo's lives, like when we were both like brand new to coming up there, and we both got some heat for our Liz and Jason opinion, which everyone's on our side now because we be knowing. But back then, it was a definitely hashtag unpopular opinion, and they were dragging us like really bad, and so we were laughing about our mean tweets or whatever. But the Mama's Basement one was so outrageous, I was literally in tears. Like, you just had to laugh because it was just so obnoxious. And Shawn definitely took it like on the chin. He wasn't mad about it. And I was like, okay, you know, we can do this because That is like so outrageous, and it was just so funny. So that was my favorite one for him because it was
I
great.
got there the long road away, but I got there. So thank you. Yep, that was hilarious because I laughed. Even we were talking about this yesterday, and I was like, my mother don't even have a basement, so she'll have a basement to live in. I think Kia Simone dropped off. So if you left, Kia, good night. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you for taking some time before you headed off to bed to chop it up with me on this post-birthday celebration. So, really do appreciate you. But yeah, that was definitely a funny one. And I joke back with them about the fact that I have moved. I changed my my angle so that you can see the window in the back of where I live, so that they could understand that, one, it's not a basement, because basements don't have crown molding and 8-foot ceilings unless you live in a mansion, and that's a basement I wouldn't mind living in. So but yeah, I told them I moved out of the basement, so I'm out the basement. For whoever was out there, I'm not in the basement anymore.
Well, amen. You're just living for something else to be made up, I'm sure. But yeah.
Oh, of course, there's gonna be other things. I got one the other day on Maria's channel. Somebody said, so I get it sometimes from the ladies. Another dude said to me, he was like, "Oh, Shawn is about to cape for the ladies." I'm like, I'm catching smoke on both sides, so I can't win for losing. And I just had to ask him. I was like, "Bro, do I know you? Like, do we know each other? Like, how do you know what I'm about to say? Like, we that close?" So he eventually started to change his opinion once he opened his ears and listened to more of what I had to say. So,
Shawn, does any of your family listen to your channel, or have they listened before?
Yeah. If you look at was it my first? I interviewed a guy named Daryl. Saiz from Family or Fiance, and my mother posted on the comments. So my mom, if anybody knows her, if Rich, you're still out there, I know Arne had to go. So Arne, thank you for joining. I know you got a family, and it is late still there in Texas. So thank you for joining, good brother. My mom posted a beautiful comment there underneath the video. She is an avid supporter. She was like, whatever you need for your channel, I'm here. So yeah, she is a good supporter. I think I have an aunt, a couple of my aunts, uncles, and my cousins. A few of them have joined thus far. So yeah, I do have some family out there that checks me out.
Well, I'm not going to ask a question. I'm actually make a statement. So, first time I met you was on, of course, Kojo's Little Black Book 91's channel. I guess you and Seaway had already met the week before. I happened to be on the next week, so I already thought you were a part of the panel, especially because of the way that you break down everything and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, when I found out that you wasn't even a part of it yet. Then after the audition that we had to be on Little Black Book's channel, Matt found out that you're in the group with us. I was like, oh, wow, amazing. Imagine that and stuff. Then we got to debating. I said, oh, God, here we go. But I'll tell you this, because it never turned into an argument. It was a full-on actual discussion. I won't even call it a debate. It was an actual discussion back and forth. And this wasn't even our first one. This is one of many that we've had. But I loved it so much because we would continue our points until the other one got it. And so that's where I got to the point where it was like, if I do a channel with anybody, I definitely want to do it with him, because he is the definition of having productive conversations, even if we are on polar sides of the topic. Because we can continue to go back and forth until it's like, okay, maybe I'm saying it wrong. Let me say it like this. Here it is again. Okay, I see where you're coming from. Now, here's where I'm coming from. And we always seem to get to a common ground somewhere in the middle, or we just agree to disagree, which is hardly ever we disagree on it because we usually by the end of it see each other's point. But that's what attracted me to you, especially the fact that you are my brother-in-law by last name. So I was like, God, I can't shake you Davises for shit. I don't know. I might as well just leave them.
That's it. We out here. Davises are strong in these streets.
But no, I love you, my brother. You have been the best. You know, I look up to you, especially because when I have thoughts, and I have great thoughts a lot of times, and I'm good at giving advice, but I've been in the process of transitioning from my petty ways. And so I'm trying to be more conscious of the things that I say to others, because I really want to see us be the best of ourselves in like full glory or whatnot. Now I can help you be the best petty self, no doubt. But I have transitioned myself into being a better me as well. And so I just want to see others, you know, just excel like I am excelling. And that was my thing of helping people grow. And of course, I got that. You know, you say, what is this, add stuff, and, you know, but I'm country. That's what we say. If you really hear my auntie, y'all be like, damn, did she even say anything besides and stuff? But, you know, you've helped me grow as far as talking, being more conscious and aware of the things that I'm saying, and just, you know, being a better person. So I really appreciate you for that.
Jay, come on, right? That's what we do, right? And you, for me, listen, a couple of nights ago, you were playing the middle in a heated discussion we were having, and you were trying to bring down the strength in the room. And you know, you definitely helped me to see some balance in a conversation. So I do appreciate you. You know, I appreciate that compliment, and you know, we have a great time and a lot of fun. Jay is the party. Okay. She's always going to be the party. She's going to, whether she's typing comments or telling you, you know, she is fun and also extremely insightful. So appreciate you. Wait a minute. Who stepped in the room, Jay?
Brittany.
Britt. Brittany's perspective. Oh,
Where's
man.
you
Another
at,
one
baby
of
girl?
our panelists. I need one of those horns to say burp, burp, burp for the LBB family.
First of all, I need my rhinestone cut, Brittany. Okay, I'm bland. I'm basic out here. Okay,
you know, can I get a rhinestone, you know, bedazzled shot glass? So the joke is Brittany does a beautiful job of decorating custom made cupware and all types of items. So that is one of her businesses. So she does that. So we're just waiting for a sample. Listen, I got my own channel now, Britt. Can I be a sponsor? Can I post it up? So
man,
give me a cup. I got 250 subscribers.
Hello. Cup ambassadors, hello. Oh, bonnets too, girl. You see this? It needs a bonnet right now. What's good? I got me out here. I ain't even a makeup ambassador right now, so we're gonna just sell scarves in the meantime.
Oh, by the way, Jay is a pastry chef. So that is one of her, you know, many talents by trade. But I'm waiting, Jay. I got a sweet tooth. I know you're in LA, but if you could just ship a brother a pastry, a creme brulee. I mean, you can put that on dry ice and put it in a little box.
Brother, the creme brulee, I got to give you the recipe for, because if it ain't done fresh, it ain't the best. I'm going to say that now. Okay, period.
Okay, so what can you ship me then? Come on.
I got you. We're gonna work you out something. Don't worry.
Y'all heard it, right? She's shipping me something, and don't tell me it's like something frozen from Ben & Jerry's or something like that. I want a Jay created dessert.
You caught on to my shit. Okay, never mind.
See, I know you. We've been in this for too long. You ain't gonna do that.
I was gonna repackage it though.
Throw a little something. Throw a couple cherries on top.
I pick those out.
Your own people do you like that? Come on, that's where it hurts.
Fun story. My auntie would do these, like, she did my baby shower cake. My auntie is good for this stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit. I'm gonna take y'all out of the safe zone for a second to share my auntie story. I'm not gonna give which auntie this is, but if you ever meet her, you'll know. So she's the type of person that she'll bake you a cake, she'll bake some desserts or whatever, but she doctors up box cakes and say that it's like her thing. So she made me one for my baby shower. When she gonna leave the baby shower early, she gonna try to take the cake with her. How you gonna take my cake from my baby shower?
She wanted to take the cake from your baby shower
Yeah,
home?
she gonna talk about hurry up and cut the cake so I can get the rest. Like, excuse me?
Be your own family members.
She come
Not
to
a piece.
right.
The whole thing.
We'll have a traditional New Year's Day feast or whatever. She brings some stuff and she'll leave early and try to take the stuff with her. It's like, hold on, lady, this is how you gonna take the stuff you brought and the stuff you ate? Like, come on.
Hilarious. I'm dead.
So if you ever see that auntie at the house, just make sure you just watch her leave with nothing. Please help me out.
She wanted to repurpose that cake. She was like, this is gonna be for somebody else's baby. Just put the piece that's cut to the back.
A little more icing on that side.
So Monique King, I don't know if you're still out there, but I saw you, Monique King. Oh man, I see her on all the comments. She is an avid supporter, subscriber. Miss Misha, Little Black Book, she's everywhere. Maria S. I mean, it's nameless. And without the supporters, the commenters, the subscribers, we wouldn't be able to be out here making this content. So we appreciate you all, and you all are become a part of our lives. So again, it's that extended family. So appreciate you, Monique King. And yes, I did avoid it, but I eventually answered the question from Grace Mercy Save. So it was answered. Seaway, what you got cooking? What's going on?
Nothing. I'm not on YouTube except for this stuff, except for my donation of my time with you guys. But yeah, I'm just working. People, of course, can follow me on Instagram, where I tend to be at Mrs. Dior 22, MRSDIOR 22. I do have a non-for-profit that I will be getting back into, that I let slide a little bit when I was planning my wedding, that helps Black and Brown, in particular the Latinx and African American community, get into law school and beyond. It's called I Am Able Law Foundation. So I'm going to be getting back into that. If anyone knows people who are interested in going to law school and kind of navigating that process. But yeah, that's about it for me. Just
you see how she switched that up? You hear that, corporate? I have a not-for-profit for helping people of color and Latinx get into law school. That is huge, Seaway. So we appreciate you. We're gonna interview you. You're gonna come to another round. That's what you're gonna be doing. We're gonna get to know you. Maybe we'll even bring Mark on there and chop it up with the both of you. We'd love to hear your love story. We know a little bit of it, but we would love to share that, because you guys do have an interesting and fun and beautiful love story. So we'd love to
definitely.
Of course,
that's really dope. That's really dope, Seaway. What type of law do you do?
So right now I do kind of bankruptcy restructuring, corporate restructuring work at a kind of a larger law firm in Chicago. But prior to joining the firm back in January, February, I was a prosecutor. And I did that for darn near 3 years. So I have all types of, I don't just have the corporate background. I was in criminal in the thick of it too, which was actually such a fun job. Honestly, I had time in my life. But I had to leave for lots of different reasons. But yeah, so I know criminal stuff. I know corporate kind of transactional and litigation, kind of do it all at this point. So
that's amazing. Well done.
Big thing. So Brittany says she's going to reach out to you, Seaway, offline, because she's got a little cousin that
perfect.
Wants to go to law school. So
look, hold me accountable. I have to get back into, honestly, like weddings, a haze. I feel like I lost a year of my life. But now that I'm done, I'm getting back to what's important. So I'm excited. So please reach out to me.
Definitely. And Britt, I know you're heading out. Good night. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the birthday love. We appreciate you. We appreciate your spunk, your charisma, your fire. Woo, Brittany got some fire behind her, boy. Don't mess with Brittany. she will definitely let you know in a polite but serious kind of way that she knows what she's talking about. So, Brittany, we appreciate you. We appreciate your perspective, your heart, and your passion. So, thank you for joining tonight in this little post-birthday celebration. Jay, what are we cooking up next? What do we have next going on so we can maybe talk to the people about that a little?
I'm still debating on which topic we should go into next, because I know I had just brought up the good one about, checking on our strong friends and a little bit of depression, because I know I need to start segueing over to the mental health aspect of the conversations and things. We still owe the people the last episode from our kind of people as well, so we got to still drop that. I know, because we kind of got behind on this week. I don't know why I had so much technical difficulties from my laptop to my car. Everything went crazy. But so we'll I don't know. I guess we'll chop it up and figure out. I think we're just gonna have an open tab discussion and see how it goes tomorrow.
Okay.
That's what we'll just do. Is just see where the wind takes us or whatnot.
So I dropped the link again, so I made it visible for anybody else that wants to join. David, I got a question for you. So you live in Australia now. Have you always lived in Australia?
No. So I'm first generation Nigerian. So I was born in Nigeria. I lived most of my early life in Nigeria, and then I wanted to do my master's. So so for a lot of people who are sort of like from the African countries and stuff like that, when you want to do a bit more sort of engineering, medicine, things like that, if you have the means, you always want to try and go abroad because you feel like you can get more in terms of learning experience and things like that. So I went to Malaysia for 2.5 years, did my master's in chemical engineering, and then got a full scholarship to come and do my PhD in Australia. And that's how I got far away down.
Wow.
Down. Yeah.
How has your experience been in living in Australia?
Honestly, it's been awesome. It's been really wonderful. And I mean, this is one of the things I always try to communicate with a few of my friends who are in the US, because I've got family in the States as well. I've got family in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, in Colorado, in Maryland. Got family in a couple of places, and when they tell me about things like healthcare, when they tell me about things like jobs, I mean, like when I heard some people actually make like $10 an hour, $5 an hour, some of those things are like they're almost like a shock to me. Like, wow, how do you survive on that? And the healthcare system and how it's structured and how things are. A lot of those things really surprise me because, like in Australia, we've got a very, very good healthcare system. That's well structured. The minimum wage is way higher than the US. Jobs and things like that, living expense. Yeah, so it's pretty like it's pretty different and it's pretty good basically. So it's been a good experience for me so far in terms of like the racism and Black Lives Matter and things like that. Australia has got racism just like everywhere else in the world, but it's just not, yeah, but it's just not like in your face like that kind of thing. If you know your onions, if you're good at what you do, stuff like that, no one's gonna try and test you for no reason. They just respect the fact that okay, you're who you are, and that's just the reality of it. So in that sense, in all those things, yeah, it's a lot better in that sense.
Nice. So do you see yourself staying there for a lot longer?
Yes, I do. Actually, I do. So I don't know if you're aware, but I'm actually married. And I've got a son. I've got a little boy. Looks just like me.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really scary the way genetics work sometimes. And you just look at this human being that looks like they dropped out of out of you. But yeah, I've got my family here, so most likely gonna be staying here as well. So yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, I
definitely
did know
staying
you
as
were
much.
married. I just didn't know you had a son. That's dope. How
Yeah,
old
I
is he?
am. I am actually. So I mean, a lot of people have different feelings about this, but for me personally, I don't. I think it's kind of like what Maria talked about on the channel about like being sharing some details about our personal life and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah. So same thing with me. I think the first time I ever shared that was on Lola's channel where she asked, and we were talking about dating and relationships and marriage, and I did
Yes.
mention that. But otherwise, I seldom mention that. And I don't go checking out for anybody's daughter or anybody's girlfriend or whatever on
Right.
YouTube. So I just say, oh, you look good today, or I love the hair or whatever, and I just keep it pushing. I don't try to. Oh, my little one is 9 months. Yeah.
Oh
I don't.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got married, uh, and we were married for like a year, and then after that, we had our son, and then that was like, yeah. And actually, about 4 or 5 days ago was my second year anniversary. So, so it was kind of like 2 days from my anniversary was my birthday, that kind of thing.
Well,
So,
happy anniversary. Happy, we already said happy belated birthday. And
Yeah,
yeah,
congrats on your baby boy. That's awesome.
congrats.
thanks, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
Jay. I don't really know. Like I always enjoy when you share your story. I don't really know so much about you, but I just wanted to say I really enjoy it. When you share some of your story on Sean's channel or on Kojo's channel, I think it always gives people gives people a semblance of recognition, the fact
Hmm.
that they can see like they're not alone, and there are people who are also going through or who have gone through what they're going through. And I think it's always bold and always very warming for the heart. So yeah, really appreciate that. I always watch you guys channel, uh,
Thank you.
like when I'm driving to work or driving back home and things like that, just listen to you guys. Always deep conversations.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I do actually plan on sharing more. Because I was thinking about it the other day. Uh, everybody that knows me, I'm a big advocate for the black man because I'm a daddy's girl. Period. I love me the black man. Y'all can't tell me nothing or whatnot. And I learned not. I was thinking about it because I was just thinking like I've never been in with parents that told me what to do or what I should be they of course they tell me what I should be doing, but they never told me what to do. They kind of just steered me in the direction that I wanted to go to, and they always supported
Mm,
me. And the way my dad taught me was through experiences. He never
mm,
said you should or shouldn't do something. He just told me the experience he had that
mm,
might have related to the things. And so I just got to the point where it's like other people might learn the same way I did. I'm gonna share my experiences and we'll
mm.
see what happens. And if we bond, we bond. If we don't, you just didn't have that experience, and that's okay. But somebody
Yeah,
has. So I do appreciate you, David. Thank you very much.
yeah, no, definitely do appreciate it. Cause like I mean, I don't want to take the interview away from Sean's channel, but it's always great because it's not every day you get people who are confident enough to share such stories. So I think it's always great to that you're bold enough to share those things. So it's really good. um, Maybe another time, or maybe I don't know. But there's a question I wanted to ask Sean, which is, and probably more so now that you're kind of looking to get back into the game and things like that. What do you think? And probably Jay can also give an answer. What do you think? are the requirements, if I can use that word, or what you think a woman should have for her to be considered a wife, or somebody that you would consider to be your wife in the case of Sean or in the case of Jay. Because I think it's just very interesting to me. People always talk about, we know the case of Gil and Merla with the whole finances stuff, and oh, you don't have this kind of money, you want to get married and be a family and whatever. And then there's all the whole conversation about, um, Merla and how much she makes and all this stuff. And to me, it's just interesting that we have those conversations, but we never really talk about like what is it actually a woman should have before she's actually going to come to marriage. That's just interesting conversation for me. You know.
Oh, that's a deep question. But a good one. I think, and we could definitely expand on this and revisit it in a greater context. But I think it's a good question. Like, what would I be looking for from a woman in a marriage? And I think it starts one with mindset. And I think once you get past the physical, because clearly, both parties, the woman that I marry is going to want to be attracted to me, and I'm going to want to make sure, I want her to be attractive to me, So that's obviously off bat. But the biggest thing is the mindset, how you view marriage. Are we aligned? Do you look at marriage as forever? Do you have God in? Do you believe in God? Do you have a relationship with God? Those two things together. For me, those are very important. I think ultimately the love and the respect needs to be there, but the belief in God, the relationship with God, and understanding God in a marriage is what solidifies it and helps you to maintain it. So that for me is very, very important. Again, for me, other folks might have a different perspective or a different view, but those things are the primary things that I would be looking for.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that, considering the fact that you said you're not you're not the perfect Christian and all that. So it's interesting that, because like a lot of people talk about, oh, um, she must be able to she must be able to cook, she must be able to clean, she must be able to, keep a home, raise a family, things like that. Things that you kind of expect that, um, they say you expect that a woman's mother should teach her and things like that. Because obviously, I think some of those things are also part of being a wife or being a family. Because yeah, you might be a good Christian, but if you're dirty and nasty and you don't know how to, and things like that, and are we gonna just keep on going to Chick-fil-A or restaurant every time to eat because you don't like to cook and you're not gonna cook? Are you gonna just are we gonna just send our kids to daycare and have another woman raise our kids and things like that? Like we don't kind of talk about some of those things, which to me, I think a lot of times when you mention those kind of things, ladies always come up with this defense of, oh, you should get a cook and whatever. You just want a woman to cook for you and blah blah blah. But I think it's just interesting that we then do not put the same kind of yardstick when we're talking about, oh, these are things a man should have, or things a man must be able to bring to the table in code. So that's it's just interesting to me that we talk about all those kind of things. um maybe Jack can give us our own perspective in that regard.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a general, and then I'll give you mine. First of all, there are no perfect Christians. We can have this debate all you guys want, but as long as there's no perfect humans, there are no perfect Christians. So we all gonna fall short somewhere. That's just what it is. But as a whole, there has to be God first in your situation, because that will help your situation be perfect for you.
Definitely.
So if you guys are both on the same page, like Sean says, you both have the same mindset on things, for the most part, things are lining up as close as possibly, then God is in the steering wheel of that whole vehicle, you are going to be good. It's going to be for the long haul. As long as you stay under that, his guidance, that's it. As for me, outside of those things, I need somebody who is understanding, a decent communicator. It don't have to be good, but you're decent enough to, we're going to try to figure out our different languages, because sometimes we be speaking in different tongues to each other and stuff like that. So if you're willing to sit and be having calm conversations with me and really get to the root of our issues without the hostility, the anger tones, the negative words and all that, even if we have to walk away for a minute and then come back with cool heads, we just can actually try to understand each other. That's going to let me know that you are trying to be in this for the long haul with me. Because if you're not trying to do those things, there's no way we're going to survive, because every day is going to be a new day. We're going to have to learn to love each other all over again as we continue to grow. You're going to be a new person. I'm going to be a new person. And we both got to learn each other. And so if we can't have the communication to do it, I don't see it's going to be possible.
Yeah.
And I ain't going to lie, I need some good. So, like I said, we're not perfect Christians, okay?
I was waiting for Jay to shake the table, and she shook it. Kia didn't, but Jay did.
Exactly. Better make it real. Come on.
Oh, Jay, you just spiced it up. Yeah, you need,
That's
you need
for
that.
real,
You need that connection. We'll say that intimate connection.
Yes, I need to see. I need to feel your vibrations from across the room, my brother.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, we're not gonna touch that, but I'll see. I think I understand what you're saying. I think.
We'll figure it out. We could debate this, Shawn.
No, I wouldn't. I would this one. I promise you, I would not be debating.
Yes. So you're not hearing me.
Grace Mercy saved that was. She said that went from the Bible, from Bible study to the bedroom, right? Real quick. Listen, the Book of Solomon. Grace Mercy saved. Hello. Come on, give me a break.
Hey,
it's a beautiful thing.
You see me.
Oh boy, y'all done woke Monique up.
Exactly, Monique.
Was there.
It is okay. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
He wants to stay that. He needs to bring that. That's all I'm saying.
And it is biblical, okay, in every sense of the word.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, I'm gonna do my part and not turn him down. He better do his part.
I thought we in this together. Exactly. Isn't a husband and wife in this together? It's a mutual act.
It's a mutual exchange.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Just as long as we're on the same page, Nobody wants just help a brother out. Get involved.
Okay, let's all be on the let's all be on the same page.
That is too funny, but I love it. I love the candor, because that's really what it's about. So absolutely. And I would say, listen, the one thing that I have learned, and you touched on this too, Jay, when you said, obviously God is important in the marriage, but you said something about what works for you, right? Because you have people that go into a marriage on both sides, male and female, man, woman, whichever you want to use, that say, I want, and then you got this laundry list of things that are like deal breakers, from household chores to things that are going to happen in the house. And you just go in with this mindset of, this is how it has to look. This is what I want to do. Meanwhile, said folks are not even, you ain't even in a relationship. You ain't even got nobody that's marriage ready on either side, but you want to talk about all the things that you aren't going to do and all the things that you want to do.
I'm telling you.
And scratch that list. Take it from me, somebody that's been married for 5 years. I heard this quote a long time ago, and I try to live my life this way. Write your plans in pencil, because be prepared for God to erase them. Because that is, You just want to be cautious, and you want to leave room for the person. You know, I want to leave room for how my future wife is going to show up. I don't want to have a cookie cutter approach to what she needs to be and all the things I need her to do before she even gets on the scene. Let her get on the scene, because sometimes that list is the thing that's keeping you by yourself. Truth be told. And again, I'm not just saying, I'm not coming for women. I'm not coming for men. We just talking, right? So, you know, everybody can have the defenses down. I'm talking to myself too, you know, because I too have been accused of being kind of rigid on certain things that I want, and I want things to look and be a certain way. You know, I feel like I've attained a certain thing at a certain stage in my life, and I should have da. So I get it. I'm talking to myself too. So we want to ensure that when our thinking is lining up and when we are envisioning that future partner, because I love the idea and concept of a marriage. It is a beautiful thing. You know, I'm not super jaded from my marriage to say I would never do it again, because although we're not together, we had elements of a beautiful marriage. You will never catch me on this channel talking ill of my ex-wife. You just won't. We are friends. She knows I'm on YouTube. She is a supporter of me. I don't think she's subscribing, but she is supportive.
Be a little
and
weird.
That's fine. That might be a little weird. But yeah, I still like to say like, hey, see her in the comments. It's like, you see me go off camera and don't come back. Be Jay and David up here. She's like, watch it. I'm watching you.
No, definitely. I was gonna definitely say that too. I think I'm gonna use a baseball analogy. I like to say, go with an open mind, but you have your at least 3 deal breakers. The first strike is something that you can kind of forgive or get past. You know, you have your second strike. It's kind of like, okay, that's a warning. I may be able to handle this one if you do it or you have it, so to speak, but I don't know. But the last deal breaker is your ultimate deal breaker. And if that's just not fitting with you, you know, there's certain things that this has to be for me. Then, you know, that's the only thing that you should really come in is maybe 3 deal breakers at the most, nothing else on your other side of your list. And, you know, you'll find your person, because God is not going to package them all the way that you want them to be. He's going to package the way you need them to be.
Amen. That's beautiful, Jay. And David, that's why I like your question, because I've learned what's more important. And that's why my answer was what it was, because that first thing is a deal breaker. You know, all the other things about who cooks, who washes the dishes, who cleans. Well, listen, you know me, I'm not a cleaner. I don't like to clean. But if you don't like to clean, we'll get a cleaning person. But that for me, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to be fighting with you about, oh, you didn't clean today, or we need to clean this week. No, I'm not going to fight with you about that. I was fortunate in my first marriage to be blessed with a wife that took care of our home, which is why I get sad sometimes when I look around. I'm like, oh God, I got to do the laundry. I got to clean the dishes.
Damn it, Abby. You need to get it together over there, girl.
If anybody that doesn't know, I have a beautiful dog. She's sleeping now. She's probably tired of me being on YouTube. But yeah, that's my baby girl. She's going to be 5 years old in January, but I've had her for almost 5 years, and she is. I didn't ever have a dog growing up as a kid. I've kind of liked animals, but never had a dog growing up for a long period of time. I had a dog once, but my mother saw fit that was not permanent. But I've had Abby for almost 5 years, and she is a blessing. I brought her together with my wife. We got her, and she has just been a joy, and she is with me. But yeah, so Abby, sometimes she makes guest appearances in the afterlives. Usually she doesn't show up when I'm filming, but yeah, dogs are the best.
Yeah, no, I think it's. I mean, firstly, the point Jay made is very important. You know, that stuff is very important, and people need to also put it there and say, you know what, we need to merge on this level. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. Because I think sometimes, you know, people get a bit too spiritual in quotes and forget about the fact that, you know what, you've got blood in your veins. It's not the holy water or whatever you want to call it that's in that's in your veins. So you definitely have some feelings and some emotions, and there needs to be that chemistry on that level as well. But I really like what you said, you know, about being flexible, because I think that's one thing we always try to get on with people on especially on the channels, you know, because you know the insanity is doing what is not doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result. If you're looking to get married and you're looking to settle down and you're doing things a certain way, and someone's suggesting that, you know, maybe this is not the right way to do it, instead of trying to justify that and say, oh, you guys are just after women, you don't like women and whatever. To me, I'm just like, you might as well just listen to some different opinion. Maybe you're doing something wrong, you know, maybe you can actually do it better, you know, that would just make some sense, you know. But I think sometimes people just want to you know, stick to whatever it is they want to believe and say, you know what, I'm not, I don't care about that. But at the end of the day, you're sitting down lonely by yourself, and you still don't have what you want. If you're looking to just be by yourself the rest of your life, hey, no one is saying that's a bad option. You know, you can do that. There's no problem. But if you're looking to settle down and be with someone, and men are telling you that this is what men are looking for, or this is, you know, how to go about it, or you want to justify it and argue, and then you know what, you just almost get tired of that kind of person. Like, you know what, just do you and have fun. If you're happy doing that, you know. And it's the whole thing. I remember when we were talking about like Gil Merla and all that stuff, and we're like, oh, she needs to do this, and people want to go go on and on about, hey, you guys want to make women do that. Like, you know what? Okay, fine. You just do whatever makes you happy. Then, if that's the case, you know, it's always interesting to me how people just want to argue that in a sense, and it's really interesting, you know. And it's always very interesting when they then make you become the Kevin Samuels protege, and
Mm-hmm.
oh my
You
God,
know, it's
it's
something that you said, David, in there or whatnot that has struck out to me about, you know, just being open and receptive to things that people are saying.
mm,
Look, life has been the greatest teacher to me, period. And
mm,
you can sit there and argue with me, and I'm going to tell you right now, every story in the Bible is somebody's life experience up in there. So
mm,
no matter what it is, even if it's not totally applying to you, parts of it you should still listen to, because you can make it apply somewhere in your life later on if you just listen to people's stories. You know,
mm,
these things that we watch on TV are people's stories. They might be fictional, they may not, but they're stories that actually play out in real life. That's why they're on TV.
definitely,
You know, and so
definitely.
we all can learn from these things. A lot of times these debates and these back and forth are because we're stuck in that mentality of the person that we're defending. We're
Mm,
stuck in seeing ourselves in that person, and we want to be right. And me and
yeah.
Sean had this talk the other night of things not always having to be right or wrong. That's what
Mm,
our biggest flaw is trying to make things right and wrong. There's various, Sean tells me this all the time. There could be two right. It could be two things that are right at the same time.
mm, very
Your
true.
POV is not going to be my POV, but doesn't stop it from being the same thing that happened. A car crash happened. You seen it from that angle. I seen it from this angle. It's still a car crash at the end of the day.
Mm,
So, you know, it's about us talking out the difference of where we stand and what we see on each side. And so sometimes it just comes down to us just continuously having the same talk until it gets to the point of saying, I see where you're coming from.
mm,
And I see my mistakes in what you're saying. And I hold myself accountable in this. Instead of saying, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. We're both wrong, and let me fix what I can control, which is me.
mm,
You fix you.
true, true, very true, very true, very true. I mean, I think we can all like learn a lot of stuff from these shows. They might seem like entertainment and stuff like that, but I think there's a lot of interesting things that we can learn and take away from them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I love the direction this conversation is going, because this is what we do in our afterlives. And this is how, we do chop it up with each other. I mean, you'll hear that expression, and you hear me say that all the time, because that's that is the best way to describe it. And I'll say that when you sit and talk, and there was a quote, I don't know if you posted this, Jay, and I reposted it. But there was a quote about, when two people, when you sit down and talk, it's so funny when you hash it out with somebody that you are disagreeing with, you find out that you both have more in common than you have separate, and that you're really not arguing. Sometimes you're actually agreeing, but you're so caught up in defending what you're saying that you miss the mark, right? And I think that is the beauty of communication. And listen, if you haven't guessed it, I love communicating, right? It is, something that I love to do. And I think that when we sit out and do that, we'll find more space in the middle. And if we really are, if obviously if you're across from somebody that's super disrespectful, they're calling you out your name and it's out of control, you should discontinue the communication. Oh man, I'm gonna stop right where I am. I got Shanae. Shanae. My good friend. What's up?
Good evening, everybody.
Shanae.
Hi,
Pastor
David.
Shanae.
Hi, Lord Jesus, just Shanae. Hi, Jay. Hi, Shawn. I just had to jump in on this one part of the conversation because this is where I was like, okay, now it's getting really, really good. And I just want to be a part of it. So when you're talking about it, because I've spent so many hours on Afterlives going back and forth in circles. We've gone from this side of the world to the other, just to realize that oftentimes we were saying a lot of the same things, but we were just saying them differently. And I think when people are listening with the intention of really to understand what you're saying, that's when you can engage in real meaningful conversations. But more often than not, number one, people aren't listening. But number two, when they even are hearing what you're saying, their mind is busy formulating their response back to you, as opposed to focusing on what you're really saying so that true comprehension can happen. And so here you are stating your perspective, right? And you're thinking it's falling on ears that are open and able to receive what you're saying. They're not. They're falling on ears that are trying to rebuttal what you're saying. And so so much gets lost in translation when that happens. And that happens a lot on panel discussions. I've watched many and been a part of a few. So I can definitely speak to that from experience. But I'm finding that in life, if we can just stop our brains for a few moments, just so that you can listen to what a person is saying, it'll be like what you all were just saying. Wow, we actually don't disagree. We have more in common than we have differences about. And it really isn't about who's right or who's wrong, because who gets a special award because they were, quote, right? And who's being condemned to hell because they were, quote, wrong? Nobody. It don't matter. We both gonna go to bed tonight and sleep, and we both gonna get up in the morning and put our pants on one leg at a time. So it doesn't change. It doesn't change anyone's position in life. No one's bank account is being increased because they, quote, won an argument. And so I just wanted to jump in there with that, because I'm learning and have learned through trial and error, like y'all, that there's so much more we can gain when we can just stop to listen to one another. And that's in all kinds of relationships. We really do walk away with better understanding and hopefully healthier relationships.
Shanae, you done come in here with a whole word for us.
I'm telling you.
That is a birthday gift. Thank you.
First of all, not just the word, but the soothing, relaxing voice to go with it. You don't even want to debate with Shanae. You just like, I hear you, sis. I hear you. I'm gonna work on myself, sis.
That's a tactic, Shanae. You disarm people off the bat. They can't even argue with you.
Don't tell my secret, Shawn, on the YouTube.
It's so true. I was telling, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but I was telling some of the folks that a couple of days ago, you and I were just having an intense conversation around YouTube and all things disagreement. And your approach to it, and like similar to what you shared just now, and sometimes getting so involved with these television shows that we're watching and our opinions about those people that have gone on to live their lives, but we have such a hard stance opinion that we willing to fall out with folks to be right, and I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to nobody, so don't think there's anything coming anyway. This is me talking to me. And you just were like, Shawn, do better. Like, just don't, it's not necessary to get so entrenched in an idea. There's so many things out there for you to do, for anyone to do. And you just shared with me your journey and things that you worked on. So I got to shout you out because I appreciated that. And I may not have listened to every one of the words and done the actions, but the seed is planted.
Well, God will bring the increase. That's all that matters.
Amen and hallelujah.
He growing, Shanae. He growing.
A seed got to start. He said mustard seed, right? He said that mustard seed
That's
faith.
what he said.
We just got to keep watering this accountability on him, and he'll be all right.
That's it.
That's
One
right.
part the mustard seed, 5 parts dirt, and you need the water. So I got the mustard seed and the dirt. I just need a little more water. I need some rain. So pray for me in the rain so that that seedling can grow. But it's in there.
You were talking earlier, Shawn, about your birthday being difficult. I think that's when I had jumped into the YouTube live, and I was like, oh, what's Shawn doing in here? And it made me remember, since we're all kind of storytelling a little bit, right? But then also honoring Shawn, right? Am I in the right vein? I don't want to be out of order.
No, you got this.
So I wanted to share this with you, and I hope it encourages you. On a monumental birthday, I was in a very low place in my life, not a place that I had expected. I was that person that had her life planned out at 17, right? I had it written all out. Here's all the details, God, just go down the list and make it happen. All right, amen. And God took that and laughed at me and said, this is so cute, and completely turned my life upside down. I was unemployed. I felt so alone. I felt like, oh my God, we're talking about investments just a minute ago. And I was like, I've invested 14 years at a company that has not shown me any bit of loyalty. They're actually letting me go. How does that happen? And at the same time too, I was just like, now how am I supposed to be trying to build a relationship with somebody? I ain't even got no job. So I was really struggling with, depression and just feeling like none of the plans that I had written out and was specific in my prayers to the Lord, nothing was working, right? And when I tell you, Shawn, from that birthday until this day, my life has been so absolutely amazing. And I'm hoping that this is speaking specifically to that part of you that felt like maybe this particular year's birthday, it didn't look like how you were expecting it to look. Maybe some of the people that you thought would be in it aren't there with you. Please know that, number one, God already knew that. When he put you in your mother's womb, he knew this birthday was going to be like this. He destined for this birthday to be like this. And he knows what the end of your story is. So no matter what you have gone through and what you face, maybe relationships that are different and that have changed, just know that God is only involved in doing what is going to be for your ultimate good. It's never his intent to do anything but his absolute best for his children. He loves us with an undying love. So even when you're in places where you feel like, this ain't even what I was trying to do, Lord. Now, how did I get here? Know that he's there. His arms are there wrapped around you. He'll carry you through that season. And you'll look back at this birthday and remember it and say, wow. And I thought that wasn't a great birthday. And you'll be able to smile and say, Lord, I thank you for all that you've done for me, for where you've brought me to. And you'll celebrate more birthdays and have more exciting opportunities to connect with other great, amazing people. And you'll reach a lot of the greatest successes in life come on the heels of great adversity. So when you come out of those situations that seem like they're really trying and they're challenging you, you're typically on the verge of a really great breakthrough in your life. So I just wanted to speak that into you and share that story with you and hope that it blesses you and encourages you and anybody else as well, because life doesn't always go the way that we want it to go or the way that we plan it to go. But I'm learning that when it goes the way God intended for it to go, baby, you can't be mad at that. It's going to be good all the way around.
Whew. Shanae, oh my goodness. Thank you so much, my sister. Like that, you bless me beyond measure. So I appreciate you and I receive all of that. Yeah, that and amen. I appreciate you. So folks, if y'all didn't remember that Rich and Rogers podcast, I'm gonna find the the message. I hope it's still up here, but please check out Shanae and her good sister. What's your co-host name on the
That's my
podcast?
best friend, Angela.
Angela. Angela. So yeah, please check them out on Rich and Rogers, available on all podcast platforms. You will hear conversations and ministry, just like you just heard my sister share with me to just now. So, I totally appreciate that. I'm so glad you were led to share that, and that spoke to my spirit. So thank you.
I'm gonna say thank you, Shanae, for that. And before anybody twists any words and stuff like that, our God is not a cruel God. He did not laugh at Shanae. He smiled at Shanae and said, "This is the list you want, baby. I'm about to plant you from the ground all the way up and build you all the way into everything that you put on this list. So continue to grow, my sister. Love your story. Appreciate you."
Thank you, Jay. It's beautiful.
So right here, you see it. It's on the screen, the Rich and Rogers podcast on all podcast platforms. Please support, support the good people, here. And again, this is the extended family that, that I feel comfortable saying God ordained for me to have in this season of my life. And they all have blessed me in so many different ways. Some just complete love and support, some with accountability, some with messages of hope and encouragement, most, if not all, with laughter, which I love to do. So yeah, Shanae, you have to promote, you got to promote yourself, and you're doing good work out here. Cause sometimes we get caught up in some of the other things that we hear and see that, maybe there's a message in there, but we got to search deep for it. But your message is loud and clear. You're doing positive things out here. You are caring, loving, supportive, smart, ambitious. So we got to get people behind you. So we have more and more of those types of things out there, more of that content out there. So it's less and less of the other stuff, because we got to be the salt and the light out here. Me and Shanae always laugh because we get so churchy with each other, and I said earlier, listen, I'm not saying this to say that, oh, I'm just a, whatever. I don't want anybody to get, like I'm not trying to get on a soapbox or a platform or a pulpit. But I love me some gospel music. And anytime I drop a gospel song reference, Shanae is always here. She's like, yep, I got that. Now I got this too. What you know about that? I'm like, yeah, I know that too. So Shanae is my gospel artist, trying to think of the right word, connoisseur. Oh, Mel, I appreciate you for joining. Mel just joined us. Thank you for joining. What's Mel saying? Gratitude is so important. It is a guarantee from God. If you are grateful, he will increase you. Oh, amen, Mel. Let me find out. Let me find out. We have some ministers of the Lord, some disciples out here. And I love that, because the church and the pandemic changed that. And it changed it for me so much too. And that's another thing that this YouTube space was a blessing for me. Because I'm going to be transparent. Like in my background, like I was a youth leader. I was a deacon. I did so many things in my church. So involved in my church, up until about somewhere about between 2018 and 2019. And then there was some transitions in leadership in the church, and changed ownership and leadership. And I just use that as an opportunity to scale back, because, a lot of people talk about church hurt. Well, it's a real thing. And sometimes you get very involved in the church, and it can take a very heavy toll on you. So I decided to scale back, not in my relationship with God, but in my relationship with the church, and my responsibilities in the church. And I needed to invest more time at that time in my marriage, in my personal life, and trying to figure things out and what I was doing and what my next steps were. Still maintain connections with church leadership, my pastor, things of that nature. But I scaled back. And then the pandemic happened, right? So I was watching church on YouTube, streaming and things like that, but still missing that fellowship connection. And yes, did I have friends that were saved that we did talk, but still the fellowship among believers in a church space is unmatched. And then I found this little Black Book community and folks like Shanae and many, many others from Jay and so on and so forth that are believers too. And, come from all different walks of life, experiences, you name it. And it has been another version of the church because we are the church. The church isn't the walls. It's not the brick. It's not the mortar. As much as the pastor is the head of it, it is not him. It is the people. It is the body. So, yeah, you just reminded me of that, Shanae, and Mel, as did you. And so Grace, Mercy, Saved You did as well. So, yeah, y'all are dope. And this is the best birthday. I'm repinning it, right? The best. So appreciate you guys.
I think the love component is the most important part of the whole, like, Christian and walking with God, and just that love component is the most important part. Sadly, I think it's sometimes the one that we tend to forget, and we try to just focus on the legalistic part of it, and don't do this and don't do that, and should you be doing this as a Christian, and we sometimes just a bit relegate the love part, which is, to me, the most important part. Just showing love to people, being there with them in their situation, loving them through their mess, and being a support system. Because truth is, everyone who's going through some hell and what have you is going through it. But the truth is, a lot of people who are Christians have also gone through it or are going through it. So instead of happing on people and saying, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, and a Christian should not do that, and the Bible says this about divorce and what, how about just loving on that person and actually showing them that, what, God is love, and he loves you regardless of whatever it is that happened to you. It's an event. It's not who you are. It doesn't define you, and he loves you through it all. So sometimes that's the part where we just kind of miss it, especially with Christians, and we just have to always try and keep that as our focus, as opposed to all the other stuff about Christianity and walk with God.
Amen. Absolutely. Because we all have a walk to lead. We all got things we need to do differently and better. And, we got to answer to God for that and not get so focused on what other people are doing sometimes and what we're doing. So absolutely. That's self-work, which, listen, I am. I definitely. Oh, that's right, Jay. You said my sweater, right? Grace. Yeah, Grace. I'm not even going to start preaching out here. We know what covers a multitude of sins, right? It's the grace. So, and God gives it to us freely. It's unmerited as well. It's unmerited. So we didn't do nothing to earn it. So we got to also realize that piece. And that's something that resonates with me, because sometimes we feel entitled, right? We feel entitled as believers. We feel entitled to tell people what to do. We feel entitled to think that we get the things that we got. We did everything that we needed to do to get them. Well, no, there's grace. So I love it. So, but yeah, I appreciate you, Shanae. You brought a whole new aura and element in the room. So I love it. I love it because there's diversity in us as believers. We multifaceted. So, we're not all running around here, just holier than thou with church doilies on our heads and, with prayer cloths on our laps. We real people out here living. Right, Jay? Anything else? I know we're at the little after the 2-hour mark. I appreciate you all for staying up with me and chatting, and for anybody that catches this afterwards. But anything else as we kind of, transition? I know I want to get, let folks get to bed. I'm still off tomorrow, so I don't work in the morning. took tomorrow off, or technically today for those of us on the East Coast, it's Monday. But yeah, I don't want to keep y'all up super late. But yeah, anything else?
No, we just here in love and support for you. Y'all make sure, if you haven't already, I'm sure you have. But if you haven't and you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, like, sharing this video and all the rest of his videos, because they're awesome, especially his interviews. He has a knack for it. He just don't realize it yet, but he's got it.
Thank you so much, Jay. Anything you want to promote before we head out tonight?
Just our madness over at Another Round. You guys, look, tomorrow we doing open tab or whatnot, and it's open tab because we're gonna have like a bar talk. I know they like to say barbershop talk, but since ladies is not technically allowed in the barbershop unless we get a haircut, we're gonna have a bar talk, okay? So you guys have y'all drinks ready, whatever y'all want to drink, sip on. I don't care if it's water, smoothies, green juice, hard liquor, I don't care. Enjoy yourself, but stay hydrated. But we're gonna have some talks about, it's kind of like the same thing we're talking tonight. Just see how the conversation goes, and you guys can steer the wheel.
Thank you, Jay. And where can they find you outside of Another Round JS?
You can also find me on IG, The Sexy Tomboy. It's all American spelling, full, like the actual Sexy Tomboy, like The Sexy Tomboy. So you can find me on IG there. You can email us at anotherround010@gmail if you have any topic discussions, or if you have any great ideas for upcoming shows. We are always taking new ideas and, getting them to you guys, because we're here for you. So
thank you, Jay. Shanae, just give us where they can find you, and just remind them of the things that you have going on.
Thanks, Shawn. Appreciate the opportunity. You can follow our podcasts almost every place where podcasts can be consumed. Just to name a couple of the major ones that folks know about: Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We just dropped our 3rd episode, which is likely going to turn into a 2-parter due to some of the feedback that we have received. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, head over and check it out. We also have just launched our IG page for our podcast, which is, hold on, y'all, let me make sure I say it right, because I don't handle the tech side of things, and I'm likely to get them wrong. Okay, it's the Rich and Rogers Pod on IG. So follow us. We'll keep you up to date with episode drops and also other information. I think we're looking to add a few more elements to the podcast that I think are going to allow us to be a bit more engaging with our audience, and we're just looking forward to that. And we're so thankful for everyone that has been tuning in, providing feedback, and being so supportive. Not something that we were expecting. And so it's just been really awesome. And I appreciate, again, Shawn, the chance to share that on your platform.
You're more than welcome. You are more than welcome, Shanae. You are a friend at this point that I consider highly. And, your support is unmatched, and I appreciate you coming on with us. David, anything before we conclude tonight you want to share, or?
Just love, and love, support for my brother. Always dropping great content, and by the way, if you haven't checked out Shanae's podcast, I listened to the 2nd episode. Pretty dope conversation about relationship. It's not just about love and romantic relationship. It's about relationship with your colleagues and stuff like that. So pretty deep conversation. Check it out. And obviously, Jay's channel, giving you that deep, heart-touching conversation that makes you, quiver and hold your blanket to yourself. You can always listen to Jay's channel and Shawn's channel, of course, giving us great content. I don't have a channel, but you can find me on Maria's channel. You can find me on Little Black Book once in a while. You can find me on Shawn's channel, maybe just in the comment section and stuff. But happy birthday to you, brother, and all the love, God's blessings for you, more and more great achievements and accomplishments, and Looking forward to so many more testimonies of God's goodness in your life. We love you and we're always supporting you. And it's peace from Australia.
Thank you so much, David. You are a consummate supporter, from all the way from Australia for all of us. And you always find a way to, whether you comment or you jump on a panel, to add value and support. So we really do appreciate you. So thank you for all the panelists, Jay, my road dog, my right hand woman, my ride or die, my day one, all of that. That's it. Lifetime friends at this point. We ain't going nowhere. Shanae, appreciate you. You're the way you blessed us, and I say us. When you came in tonight, man, super dope. Appreciate you. You rock. You're awesome, and I know that podcast is going to blow up and be a blessing to many, many, many people. So appreciate you. And for the audience and all the commenters and my subscribers, I appreciate you all. You're the reason I'm able to do this. You're the reason I'm able to get up in front of this platform and talk to actual people, for the people that stepped onto this live at the wee hours of the night, because I'm a night owl, y'all. So for us to step in just to join in and listen in and drop some comments, even if you were here viewing and didn't drop a comment. I appreciate you all. You have, thanks to Shanae, you have made this, and she coined it, you've made it the best birthday. You have reconfigured this birthday for me. So I appreciate you all and thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Shawn Unfiltered. Appreciate you all. Stay blessed.